What's up guys, welcome to the Scar's channel. Welcome to episode 2 of Road to a 500 pound squat. I worked up to a single today, felt really good about it. It was a new PR, so let's get it going. We're also going to talk about how squats increase your vertical, or if they do increase your vertical, and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so the first thing you want to examine for yourself is, what is your main goal? If your main goal is to increase your squat, then you're going to be doing what I'm doing, and you're going to be squatting about 3 times a week, increasing the weight or the volume almost every session, but definitely every week. And you're going to work on technique and all that, and your movements, your accessories are going to be more for the strength and not so much the plyometric type. But if your goal is to increase your vertical, then the squat is going to be primarily used as just a tool, to make sure you have a base strength that's good enough to get your vert to 40, 45, 50 if you're elite, that sort of level. So if your main goal is to jump higher, then instead of jumping at the end of the session like I did, you jump in the beginning. You do 2 to 3 plyometric exercises after the jump workout, and then you go into some explosive lifting and then maybe squats at the end. But here I'm warming up. We got 315 on the bar right now, and the main thing I've been working on lately is to move the bar as fast as possible. So what comes down to moving the bar fast for me is basically descending into the hole really fast, and then just trying to basically use my stretch shortening cycle to bounce back up. And when you're only going parallel, it's kind of harder to do this. When you're going A to G, you kind of have a better bounce out of the hole, but I try my best to move the bar fast, because moving the bar fast is going to carry over way more to jumping than grinding out a really slow rep. Even though I do grind out a lot of slow reps, when I'm going for a 1 rep max or something like that. So if your goal is to jump higher, which I'm sure like 90% of you who are subscribed, it is the goal, then when you're doing squats, still go heavy, but make sure you're moving the bar as fast as you can. So it's all about intent. Okay, so here's my PR attempt for the day. I went for 395. That's a 5-pound PR for me if I hit it. So let's see. Let's go. That was 395. Took it for a ride. My shoes almost slipped out. Well, I was wearing socks, so I did kind of a wider stance, and my socks were sliding outwards. So I really grinded out that rep, guys. But I'm happy with that. I'm not in the 400 pound club yet, but my squat shoes are coming in next week, and I think the heel support and overall stability is really going to put me hopefully at 405. I'll take 400 either way. So now we're moving on to pin squats. I just added these to my accessory list, and I really like them because it takes out the stretch shortening cycle, as I mentioned in the last video, and it really develops a lot of power in the hole. And I feel like that's my worst spot, because you can test it. I mean, if you can box squat a ton more than you can regular squat, then chances are your weak point is going to be in the hole. And my box squat is almost 600 pounds, and I can't squat 400 yet. So, I mean, it's a clear sign that I'm not weak in the lockout position. It's kind of all about the hole for me. So, for these, I worked up to a heavy single. I think I PR'd again. The goal is honestly to work up to a heavy single every time I hit legs. That's kind of how the everyday approach works. If you're going to squat every day, you kind of work up to a max for the day, and that's kind of what I do, even though I only do 3 times a week. So here's 325. This would be a 10-pound PR. Alright boys, as you can tell, I let the big dogs eat. I gave them 10 pounds worth of a PR to munch on. So that was really good. I was pleased with that. Hopefully we can get that up to like 365 pretty soon. So next we moved on to Sumos. I don't think I'm going to be doing these anymore after a heavy squat day, because when you squat wide stance, you're using a lot of your hip strength, and the Sumos is like almost all hips. You definitely feel in the hips, and it kind of doesn't feel great. So I worked up to a heavy single with the Sumos, and then I switched over to conventional because that's what I heard. I think it was Mark Ripito, I'm pretty sure it was him, on YouTube said that if you squat wide, then do conventional after, if you're going to do squats and deadlifts in the same day. So that's just some food for thought for you guys. So here is like 35 or so, moved pretty well. From here I went up to 405, and this honestly felt really good. My form is very sloppy, but it felt good. So for you jumpers out there, I think sumo is a good call because it's kind of hard to work the hips at home, especially when you don't have a lot of gear, and this will definitely work your hips. So as you can see, I failed the 475 attempt, so I switched over to conventional to make myself feel better, and I just did sets of 3 with 405, and I did like 3 sets just to basically get back in the groove of doing this. I haven't really pulled conventional in a while. I do trap bar deadlifts a lot, and I find that it has the most carryover to quad strength and jumping, so I focus on that more because it helps me with my goals. And last but not least guys, I did 5 intense jumps from each approach. I mean, obviously I warmed up first, and then I did my set of 5, and that's how I ended off the workout. I know PJF Performance, in some of his workouts he has a jump sesh at the end, basically just to force you to be explosive at the end of the workout, which is a lot harder. So there is some carryover, and I don't want to lose my jumping ability, so I have to keep doing these. But if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. I'll see you next time. Peace.